Hey there, everybody. I'm George Deacon Lee, and with me here is Playoff Beard and Evil Finn.
Hello.
And today, Evil Finn will be talking to you about some pretty awesome things coming up, but, as we always do, we'll be giving out 1,000 likes after every single match. And, just stick around. There might be some pretty interesting things you hear today. So, take it away.
Oh, we got a packed show, and also just what a whirlwind the past 24 hours. I mean, to be perfectly honest, my personal goal was just for Celeste to be out before PAX. But instead, you got her way earlier, made us kind of jump through some hoops, but we're really excited with some of the feedback that we're getting on Celeste. But we're going to be doing news, we're going to be doing kind of a Celeste recap and show you her Hero Spotlight video from Ciderhelm if you haven't seen it yet. We're going to go through all the hero balance changes, all the item balance changes, and of course, viewer matches with former Team Curse MOBA Pro Z-Kent, and you can win 3,000, or you can win 1,000 ice. There will be 3 winners after every match. But we have Evil Finn here. We're going to kick off news by talking about all the craziness that's happening at PAX.
All the craziness.
But before we get into it, I have to ask you, why are your hands bandaged?
So
what is this?
This is a fun story. I have this hobby called CrossFit, where you do silly things like lift heavy weights and do toes to bars and pull-ups, and that is what I did yesterday quite intensely, so I'm not shaking any hands soon.
All right, so the lesson of the day, do not mess with Evil Finn. And do not talk trash in the chat when you see her dev flag in-game, because much like Chainsaw, she can beat the crap out of you. But we'll move on from that. All right, so let's talk about PAX. Tell me all the things happening at PAX.
There's so many things to talk about. I'm going to try to take it slowly so I don't get things. Okay, to start with something super big, super awesome that we're going to do for the first time ever. We're going to have official Vainglory show matches with amazing Twitch celebrities and also some of our own community members. So on Saturday, we'll have Miss Vixen and Prodigy X, who's also in the chat, playing for the win of Saturday. It's going to be an awesome match. With them, we'll have Shin Kagan, who you all probably know. We have Z-Kent, Lady Wabish, Gibbs. It's going to be really good. On Sunday, we're going to change the captains around a little bit to keep it interesting. So we will have Nick at Night and Malt. The rivalry begins today. Fighting for glory.
Friends until now, but no longer.
Yes, no longer. It's over.
So on Saturday, winner take all between Team Miss Vixen and Team Prodigy X. And if you're not watching Miss Vixen stream on Twitch and Prodigy X's stream on Twitch, you should be doing that anyway, because it's really awesome streams. But then they're loaded with just crazy high elo teams. Most people have seen Gibbs and Lady Wabish, both pinnacle of awesome. And then of course, kind of the ringers on the team. We have Z-Kent and we have Shin. If you're not watching Shin stream, some of the kind of sickest plays you'll see in Vainglory, to check him out. And then on Sunday, Team Mold against Team Nick at Night. We have those crazy, I don't know if you saw it there, but these crazy plaques that they're fighting over for the PAX East 2015 championship plaques. So that should be a lot of fun, but there is a lot more for people both at PAX and for people who can't attend PAX, which is most people.
So for those of you who cannot attend PAX, we'll be running a really cool Twitter competition from next Friday until next Thursday, the 5th, until Sunday. So this is all about cosplay, but it's instant cosplay. So we'll be rewarding up to 5 people a day with some ice, depending on what kind of costume you come up with. So, you can throw a box on your head to be Taka, but maybe that's worth like 1 ice or 5 ice. Or if you go all in and actually do a costume, we might award you up to 1,000 ice. So that's going to be really cool. So just tweet #Vainglory. That will start next Friday. So you have next Thursday. So you have a few days to prepare.
So just to be clear, we have 2 professional cosplayers at PAX East. We have a Kashka and a Catherine. That is legit. That is serious. We do not expect anyone to be able to, in the next week, pull off something of the caliber of all of the amazing cosplayers that are out there and all of the amazing cosplayers that will be at PAX East. But just get creative. We're just looking for fun, creative stuff. We know it's going to be much more like instant cosplay or even Halloween costume. So don't worry about that. It's just like, whatever you can think of, use the whole roster of heroes. We will be watching on Twitter. We'll be watching on other social channels. And if you come up with something fun, we'll give you a bunch of ice for it.
Yep. And then for those of you who are attending PAX, there's a ton of stuff. So we have collectible beanies. There's 50 of those per day. It says Vainglory, Twitch on the other side. They're pretty sweet. We also have collectible 3D printed statuettes that you can only get at our booth. We'll have a little riddle for you that you'll have to know the answer to, and then you can maybe get one.
They'll be lore-based, so
Lore
read up.
based. Read up.
Read up.
Then there's swag like buttons and lanyards, and you can come meet the devs, take some photos with the cosplayers, hashtag Vainglory, tweet them out, and you can win a Celeste unlock and all sorts of cool stuff.
So I've been hearing that there's going to be one, maybe more really big surprises at PAX that we're kind of going all out. I probably can't get you to talk about it here on the stream, but can I get you to confirm that there will be some things happening that people are going to really want to know?
Yeah, there's going to be something that you will... In Finnish, we would have a saying for this.
I love you everything. I'm pretty sure there's a Finnish saying,
It is
meaning that there's a Finnish saying for
there's
this.
a Finnish thing, and this means... in Finnish, you would be saying repiä pelihousut jalasta, which means you would want to tear your player pants off for this information. Boom!
Like Kashka looking for her trousers?
Maybe. So it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big if there's a Finnish saying for it.
All right, so I think that was No Pants Friday confirmed at PAX. I'm not really sure, but that's what I heard.
Keep your pants on, people.
Okay.
We do not want you to get kicked out of the convention.
No, you do not.
All right, so some really, really big reveals happening at PAX, and it's going to be a blast. We're going to make sure there's just as much cool stuff happening on our live streams as there is on the show floor. So we know like 99% of you cannot be in Boston on those days. It is sold out, and you guys are all over the world. We're going to make sure the live streams are really, really fun. We're going to give away ice. We're going to have some big game reveals in those live streams. So if you can't be at PAX, don't worry. There's going to be a lot of fun PAX stuff happening for you.
Yeah, you should also keep your eye on Twitch's official channel. They have a really cool PAXport competition where you can win a lot of cool stuff. So you should also have a look at that stuff that's going to happen. So,
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, that's all that I have. I would love to stay and hang out, but I actually have to make all this PAX stuff happen.
All right.
So I'm not going to spend any more time.
All right, Evil Fin's going to take off, but if you
Bye.
end up having time, come back and play a match with us in the viewer matches later.
Sure.
Okay, awesome.
Bye.
Sounds good.
All right, so that was Evil Fin. We are going to be bringing in Sugar Venom soon, and she's going to be talking about a little bit about upcoming lore and revealing who the next hero will be in the game. Nothing more than a name right now,
Such excitement.
but it's important. It's a big thing. One thing, so just moving down the news, one more thing we've been getting a lot of questions about that I thought it would be a good opportunity to mention here on the stream. People are saying, we were at 1.1.7, why did we jump in this update to 1.2.0? So all I can really say right now is that we did that because we kind of feel like this update sets the stage for what's next in Vainglory. You can't see any of it now, but it's the beginning of the infrastructure in place for more long-term progression and for more of the things that you've been really looking for. So we see this as kind of the beginning of a new chapter. We hope you're gonna stick around for the next few updates as things start to get really exciting. I can't promise it's the very next update, but we'll see soon. And one other thing on that note, we did kind of rapid fire here with getting Arden out, getting Celeste out, less time than probably even we expected in between those updates. I want to just caution you guys, in order to really deliver on some of what we put in place with 1.2.0, we're going to probably take our time with the next update. It's going to be a really, really beefy one, but it's probably going to take longer than this last one, which came out probably faster than anyone expected. But it will be worth it. It will be a big update. It will be a really awesome update. So with that, I would love to bring in, is Sugar Venom over here?
She is.
All right, we're going to bring in
Just
Sugar
chilling.
Venom. If you've been enjoying the lore for the heroes, a lot of that, almost all of it, is because of this person here, Sugar Venom, amazing player, amazing writer, and we have her here to first reveal who is the next hero in Vainglory.
Talking to the mic.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint everyone. It is not the undead goat.
Aww.
I know, I was really pulling for that. But no, it is, in fact, going to be what you guessed. Celeste's twin brother Vox.
Celeste's twin brother Vox. So there you have it. A lot of people will probably be able to speculate about that, but it was really cool the way you set up the last story. it was like, it could have been another Julia moment. It could have been like Celeste lives and Vox dies, but you probably don't want to ruin what you've written, what's going to be coming out soon, but what can you tell us about what can we expect with this family story moving forward?
Well, this is so cool because the whole family itself was the dream of Ciderhelm from months back, and he was the one who created all this, and I got to talk to him so much to figure out what his vision for it was, and so bringing it all together is going to be so much fun. And it was a little bit fun, I have to admit, because I'm kind of a bad person, to let you all think that Vox was going to be squished on the street below the carny wheel, but no, he's going to make it somehow, and you're going to find out how in the next drop.
Okay.
Exciting.
Anything else you want to tell us?
Yeah, but I don't know what I'm allowed to tell you. Can I tell you all the things?
All the things?
I don't think
I'm
you
sure
can
the viewers would
reveal
like that.
And the next
all
character
the
after
things.
that, and the next character.
All right, so
No.
maybe it sounds like she's going to reveal a little too much, so maybe we will leave it there.
Well,
But-
yeah, but I don't know. Is there anything else that we want to tease to them? Because I don't.
Only if there's anything else with the story that's coming up that you think you can say without giving away too much.
Are we allowed to tell them what he is or what he can do? Or do we want to keep them on their toes a little bit longer?
I don't
It's up to
know.
you.
I think that people can speculate a little bit about that.
I like the speculation.
But I think I heard you say before we will find out who's after them and why and that kind of stuff, right?
Oh, we're going to eventually.
Okay.
Soon enough.
All right.
Do we know who's next and why?
No, who's
We have
after
no clue.
who's after the twins and why and all of that
I know.
good stuff.
We'll find
All
out.
right.
We'll let you know as soon as we know.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, anything else?
All right, so I would love it if you could play some games today when we get to the viewer matches. I don't know if you have time. Oh, it's going to be tight because you have to run. All right,
Yeah, I have
so
30 minutes, but do I get to sit here and listen to you?
I would love that.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so cool.
for you to
So
do that.
we're going to be going into hero balance change, and then we're going to do viewer matches.
So let's recap first.
And Celeste recap, and viewer matches, and lots of
And
ice
all the
giveaways.
things.
But we want to show you right now, Celeste is out.
Go character.
We want to show you the Hero Spotlight video for Celeste, talk a little bit about Celeste. We're going to be playing a ton of games, so we're going to be getting into those matches soon. But first, Hero Spotlight video.
Hey, this is Ciderhelm, and welcome to the Vainglory Hero Spotlight. Today we're looking at Celeste, a gifted mage who commands the stars. Celeste lights the way for her team, calling upon her stars for both artillery and long-range reconnaissance. Though fragile, she is well suited to fighting from the furthest edges of battle. Celeste's perk, Julia's Light, changes her basic attacks into spells that deal primarily crystal damage and increase in damage based on her crystal power. Additionally, her basic attacks briefly reveal opponents when they strike. Celeste's first ability, Heliogenesis, creates a small star at a target location, dealing a burst of crystal damage to nearby enemies. This star remains on the ground for several seconds. Though it will not continue to deal damage, it does grant vision in a small area around it. If Celeste casts Heliogenesis on an already existing star, the star will go supernova, dealing increased damage across a much wider area. The Heliogenesis Overdrive substantially increases its casting range. I recommend learning Heliogenesis at level 1, upgrading it first, and taking its overdrive in nearly all situations. Celeste's second ability, Core Collapse, triggers a chain reaction at a nearby location. After a short delay, enemies within the area are stunned and take crystal damage. The Core Collapse Overdrive increases a stun duration while substantially decreasing its cooldown. I recommend learning Core Collapse at level 2, upgrading it second, and taking its overdrive over the final rank in the ultimate when survivability is more important than increased damage. Celeste's ultimate, Solar Storm, fires several stars across the map, striking enemies along their path. The lead star pierces through all targets, dealing crystal damage to them. However, the trailing stars will detonate and deal crystal damage in an area on the first enemy they strike. Stars deal significantly reduced damage to non-heroes. Additionally, the stars deal no damage to structures, though trailing stars will still impact them. Upgrading Solar Storm increases the number of trailing stars, dealing more damage and making it harder for enemies to avoid. I recommend learning all 3 ranks when you want to maximize damage. When playing Celeste as a mage, I strongly recommend focusing heavily in the Crystal Tree. Start your build with a Frostburn, then shift immediately towards Tier 2 Travel Boots. These 2 items, along with the increased range from your Heliogenesis Overdrive, will make it much easier to keep your distance. If you're most comfortable at a range, I recommend items like Shatterglass, Clockwork, and Broken Myth to really make her shine. If you prefer close quarters or can't otherwise avoid them, Aftershock and Alternating Current are strong additions to a build. When playing Celeste, there's a dance you'll need to master. Watch how cautious I'm being, inching up to place stars and immediately falling back as the star is forming. Because of Crystal Celeste's extreme vulnerability, learning this ebb and flow is often the difference between life and death, especially against mobile assassins. Before fights break out, I'm careful to look for tactical places to drop my stars. Brush and choke points like this are ideal locations for new stars, as they establish a vision perimeter for my team, and could potentially allow a supernova on approaching enemies. Petal has been caught, and Arden and I are moving in to help. As Arden activates his ultimate, take note of my abilities. I've already dropped a star, and I'm about to land a core collapse stun on both Catherine and Koshka. This virtually guarantees that I'll land the following supernova. Following the stun supernova combo, I'm immediately chaining my solar storm to deliver a devastating broadside. Landing another star and an aftershock-enhanced Julia's light attack seals Catherine's fate. Arden activates Warhorn, allowing us to quickly close on the retreating Saw. Watch how I'm leading my shots. Because of the delay on Celeste's abilities, they all require careful aim on moving targets. With a Vanguard from Arden, Saw has no chance to escape from us, even this close to his sanctuary. Thanks for watching the Celeste Hero Spotlight. Download Vainglory free on the app.
And we're back. So that was Celeste. If you haven't checked out his video already, like, Sire makes fantastic videos, so super cool stuff. And
what are your early impressions of her now getting to play her live with real people in multiple regions? What do you think? What are your thoughts?
So my impressions of Celeste is that she kicks some serious butt if you can land your skill shots. If you can't, you have a really bad time because you do no damage. Her auto attacks hit pretty hard if you have Crystal, but if you're not landing your abilities, she's really not too much of a threat.
Okay, so much more of that. We'll get into some games. Maybe we'll get you to play as Celeste. We'll talk a lot more about that. Did you want to go into Hero Balance now?
Ooh, let's actually play a game first.
Okay, good. I agree, because we've been doing this for a while.
We have a pretty good lineup here. So I already made a game. I invited some people. We got Shin Kagen, Gibbs, Deniers, X Swift, and Timuro. And let's hop into it. I'm going to play some Celeste. I go.
All right, so a little bit of a split here between Vainglory streamers that people might recognize and some viewers. Be lots of viewer games today. And for anyone who might be just joining us or new for the first time, the way the ice works is you don't have to do anything except watch the stream and follow the channel. After each game, I'm going to just use a little Twitch plugin where I just roll and it just gives me a random winner, and I do 3 winners and each of those winners get 1,000 ice. So you don't have to spam chat, it doesn't accomplish anything. Just hang out, have fun, and I will roll winners and maybe you'll win some ice. And if you don't win ice on our stream, we're going to host Skipper after our stream, and he's going to have some ice to give away. Be playing a bunch of viewer matches. He's a really good Scarf player, so that'll be worth checking out too.
Yep, definitely. So looks like I'm going to be laning against Shin Kagen, so this will be pretty fun.
All right.
This will be a really good matchup. Shin is really good, and I haven't really laned against him in a while, so I'm excited.
All right, so not only is this going to be high elo game, high elo lane, but also a little bit of a preview of what you can expect in the show matches at PAX. For the people asking in chat, the teams, so on Saturday, Team Miss Vixen against Team Prodigy X. I just dropped his Prodigy X's Twitch channel link in the chat window. You should totally check out his stream anyway. So Team Miss Vixen is going to have Gibbs, who streams at Lol Gibbs, and Shin Kagen, who's playing in this game. They're both playing in this game.
Yep.
So that's Team Miss Vixen on Saturday versus Team Prodigy X, which has Zken and Lady Wabish on it. So that is Saturday. And Sunday is Team Molt versus Team Nick at Night. I believe that's going to be Molt with Gibbs and Shin against Nick at Night with Zken and Lady Wabish. So I think that's what we have in store at PAX. 2 completely separate winner-take-all games for these crazy plaques. That's some art that you may or may not be seeing in the future.
Yep.
All right, so
it is good stuff. So looks like I'm up against Jin, and this will be a really fun. I feel like I'm like helping the other team for the PAX show match because I just put Gibbs and Jin together. I'm helping them get their team synergy down. So maybe that wasn't the best idea on my end, but that's okay.
All right.
It will be just fine.
And we have a few people asking, and I do think this is an important thing that we can talk about, probably easier to talk about in the context of a match, which is that we fixed stutter stepping.
Yeah.
So stutter stepping was granting some unfair attack speed. You can still stutter step in Vainglory in update 1.2.0, but there's no unfair attack speed increase. It's purely now for animation canceling, for kiting, for moving and attacking efficiently, but without any unfair attack speed. Is there anything you want to say in terms of what people should expect or how they should play now moving forward?
Yeah, definitely. With the change in stutter stepping and the reduction of attack speed, or the change that you don't get increased attack speed, it makes it a lot more balanced in terms of range heroes versus melee heroes, because you used to be able to like completely destroy melee heroes with the range hero just by second shit. This is unfortunate. This is like
Focus.
Did I get him? Oh no!
So Celeste versus
close.
Celeste, that basic slow traveling projectile that will just hunt you down. Really funny to see. And for anyone who hasn't had a chance to try Celeste yet, her basic attacks have a spell component. They have a crystal component on top of the regular weapon basic attack, which means, yes, they do proc Frostburn. So you can buy a Frostburn. Frostburn's natural gating, so in this update, that got moved, the grace period got moved to a full 2 seconds. So if you target someone and you proc Frostburn, it's going to take 2 full seconds before you can slow them with Frostburn again with Celeste basic attacks.
Yeah.
But those basic attacks, they have a crystal scaling ratio. They do crystal damage. So she's a true blue, squishy mage, and if you try to buy weapon, it's not going to convert or anything. It's just going to be crappy weapon.
I'll just give as much weapon as you normally get.
Don't do it.
Would not recommend.
No, don't do the weapon build. I've seen at least one on Vainglory Fire, because why not? But yeah, not unless you find yourself in a match where you feel like you're having your way with people and you want to nerf yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, she's really a squishy mage. You want to stay behind your tank. You want to stay on the back line, really at the edge of battle and zone and harass and do her thing as a mage.
There's a lot of people in lane. It was
There are a lot of
exciting.
people in lane.
He definitely tried to get a gank on Shin, but he was really had good foresight and dodged my core collapse. So good dodge on his end. He made him burn his boots, but so did I. So
now in the laning phase, it looks like. So are you using your heliogenesis more for zoning or more for harassing in this early stage?
I'm generally using my heliogenesis to harass as much as possible. However, I occasionally use it to get last hits, because sometimes my attacks just don't go quite as fast as I'd like them to. So I just have to use it for occasionally, like especially in lane right now. I have a pretty decent level advantage on Shin. I'm level 5, he's level 4. So I'm going to see if other people here are going to run. Pretty sure I saw Taka somewhere around there.
So that line right there, the Vainglory symbol, if you cross really that 50-yard line, you are vulnerable. You are very vulnerable as a Celeste, especially when there's a Kashka or a Taka in the game.
Oh, yeah. A Taka is the most terrifying thing for Celeste. There's almost nothing you can do unless you perfectly time your core collapse to stun him as soon as he finishes his
And
flip.
that's an important tip there. You gotta sometimes reserve your second ability, reserve core collapse, just to use to peel for yourself, just to use to try to get a stun that will keep you alive.
So right now, I'm trying to harass Shin a little bit. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but with the level advantage, I should be able to outtrade him. However, I don't want to play too far because I have no idea where his lives are. So I'm actually going to skip my ultimate for level 6 in favor of taking another point into my heliogenesis, because I want to be able to have more control in this lane.
Interesting. Sugar Venom, your early impressions of Celeste out in the world.
Yet gotten to play Celeste. All I know is that as a diehard pedal player, she's annoying as heck in the lane. My poor little Munch. Those stupid stars. I'm sick of it.
Oh boy.
Run.
All right, so the glaive showing up too late to peel.
I was a little bit too ambitious. I was trying to, Shin, get him.
So on the other, now we're in that death zone where the glaive is just taking turret damage. It's not going to work out. If that glaive had been an Arden, if there had been an Arden in the game, I think he would have gotten a save. But glaive working a little bit differently there. He's got a first dash, and then he can knock people back.
Yep, I was a little bit too ambitious there, but that's okay. It happens. I was trying to go for the kill onto Shin, but he had his teammates holding him up pretty well.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to playing the entire family.
Oh yeah.
There you go. So now that we've revealed that, we can talk about that,
Yeah.
right? So there are, you know, there's obviously story synergies. There's also some, you know, in-game synergies, some interesting team comp things that you can do when you play the family together. So we can't talk about any of the abilities yet. Vox is still in the development stages, but pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be able to put the entire family together because it just, you know, the lore is just so fantastic
And
for it.
definitely against a Catherine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say there should really be like a 3v versus 1 showdown.
All
and they
versus
just get all
Catherine.
of their revenge.
That would be awesome. So DJ, do we have any questions in the chat that we should be answering here?
Yeah, maybe a lore question.
I wish I had a more
Here for you.
Look.
So the question, so DJ is a little bit over here off camera. We'll probably see him later, but he's following the chat really closely so that he can represent you guys. If your question isn't asked, go find DJ and blame him. The question was, how old is Jewel?
Jewel is now a grown-up. Jewel is at least 18 years old at this point, at the point of playing her in the game. But we got to see her as a kid stealing the mech in the lore, which you can go see on the website. It's awesome. Is it Vainglory Academy?
Yeah, so if you go to the Academy on the Vainglory game website, you'll find all the lore there. There's lore. Which characters have we done lore for so far?
Oh my gosh.
gosh.
We did Clave and Saw. I had a great time doing Saw. We
Enemy
did
is
Petal, which was really
unbeatable.
funny. Oh my gosh,
Scarf,
what have
we
done?
did Scarf.
Oh, Scarf was hilarious.
Some
at the beginning.
awesome-
Taka, of course, had his own comic book,
Yeah.
which is fantastic.
Chimera
Alex
did the art on that.
Yeah, fantastic job on
If
the
you haven't
comic.
read the Krull story, one of them starts off where he's like begging a
Krull.
turret to kill him. It's really, really good.
Krull is so metal. He's very dark-skinned. I love Krull.
Things aren't going so well for us.
And if you haven't read the story of Ringo and Glaive, you'll find out how Ringo lost his arm. So yeah, lots of good stuff there.
Oh my goodness. They're
All right,
after me.
DJ, keep the questions coming, man.
Now with these new
Hero killed.
I look like a comet.
So we'll be going into it after this match. Crystal Saw
Enemy
did have
team
some
collected
changes,
from gold mine.
and what DJ was just asking about is if we feel like we've seen fewer Saws out in the wild. Honestly, it's way too early to tell. I just haven't gotten to play enough games on 1.2.0, but Saw is still super strong.
Oh, definitely.
And super, super popular. You see maybe more Saw than anyone else. I don't expect that to change. People are just going to have to play that much smarter.
I mean,
you know,
one reason people might be seeing less Saw is because Celeste is out, so people
Yeah.
are playing Celeste right now.
that's true, but you know, just it's important to pay attention to the update notes to see what's changed and adopt the way you play accordingly. So as a Kashka main, I see not only the changes to Kashka, but I see the changes to items like Shatterglass and Frostburn and Broken Myth, and I can't ignore that, right? You got to be able to adapt and take advantage of where the game is when these balance changes come through, and we'll be getting into all those balance changes. Were you noticing a question? You were calling
No,
out?
some people are saying nice things about lore. Someone did ask where to find it, and so that's on.
Yeah, I'll drop the link in there.
And someone else said that you should drop it as a news item, and the good news is that we do.
Yeah, so all the new heroes, we put the lore in the newsfeed. We can do some retrospectives. Probably once we get to the other side of PAX, we'll have time to get back into that. But we were definitely putting Saw and Krull and Petal and all their stories in the newsfeed. And also there's already some Adagio stuff done that we
There
haven't
is.
revealed
I was
yet.
gonna point a finger at you. I was like, it's almost complete. We need
Yeah.
to do it. It's been some
Allied
months
turret
since I wrote it, but
destroyed.
there is awesome Adagio lore that I just haven't shared yet.
Yeah, it's really, really good stuff. Really fun. So tell me your impressions of this match so far. What are you seeing, especially from a Celeste point of view?
I'm getting my butt kicked by Kashka.
Yeah, so really those assassins, really dangerous for Celeste. Positioning super, super important for Celeste. It looks like that you went Frostburn with some energy, so Frostburn now doesn't grant energy, so those are separate endeavors now. Along with the reflex block, is that just for survivability
Yep.
because of the way it's going?
Kashka is killing me
Yeah.
enough times. So right now, they're getting really good ganks off on me. They've gotten a couple good ganks off on me actually. Between Kashka and Catherine, they're just able to stun me and lock me up, and then Celeste follows up with another stun. So can't really run away from that. So I picked up the early reflex block to deal with that situation. Right now, we're having a pretty rough time. Like, we don't really have too much damage off the quite yet, so we're not able to kill them. and they're just kind of walking over us right now.
What do you think of the
Yes,
way
the
Shin
right
has
should be
played
just
Celeste? What has he done differently than you that you find interesting?
Your team captured
Nothing
one
in
of two
particular. Like
minion
he's gone even
mines.
farthest
Allied
first
minions are
item
now
opposed to
stronger.
the Frostburn.
Okay.
But that's pretty good for sustaining lane. His laning is pretty solid. Like he was able to get some good baits off with his junglers. I probably should have bought a few more flares or scout traps to protect myself, but you know I was feeling a bit greedy and I just poured more of those. So probably not the greatest idea on my end.
So the other thing, of course, we introduced in this update, the new tactical pings above the minimap along with the social pings. Is there any one of those that you find most useful, you know, especially when you're not, you know, trio queuing LAN party style?
Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying the white one right here.
Yeah.
It's very, very useful just like, oh, you know, we should get around this area, we can make some stuff happen. And right now, we just are lacking vision. We don't have any idea where they are. I really would like to take this gold mine, but it looks like Taka is actually a And right now, we're just kind of fighting. I'm going
I
to
seem
kill
to
some
have
minions.
dropped a little.
All right, so dropping Heliogenesis in there. Gibbs playing a really nasty Kashka.
Ridiculous.
Can I kill Shin? That's the question.
Hero
one of them.
kill.
All right, so Taka takes out the enemy Kashka, and now Shin is in a bad way. Heliogenesis, so you didn't even need to supernova there, you just made sure that you kind of took both of his options away for where he could run.
Yep, so that was actually a really good team fight on our end. I think Catherine is still alive, but I don't know where she is. Is she around here? No? Maybe not. Okay. I don't think we have quite enough time to take this gold
I
mine.
quite like peanut
Try, but it looks like it's pretty nuts. It's full. There's no way I can get that in time.
Enemy team collected from gold mine.
Oh, that's a good question. So if you didn't hear, the question was, will we do a lore book when Fury finally gets this merch store up that will let people buy scarf plushies and Super Evil hoodies?
I want a scarf plushie.
Oh, that would be rad. Oh, that. Yeah, we need to at least put out the comic book, I think.
Yeah.
I think that was really great. We should do something like that in the future.
That's a good idea. One other thing that we've talked about is making more of kind of the story of the world available to you guys. So you understand not just what the Halcyon Fold is all about and the story behind the map, but a little bit more of the story of the broader world and kind of what are the conditions that these heroes are living in, where are they coming from, why are they coming from there, some of those dynamics, some of the geography, some of the topography. So we'll definitely be getting into all of that too.
We're so sneaky.
And somebody asked if there's going to be a fanfic
Oh
contest.
God, we just ran
We need to
around.
get on that because that would be really awesome. Fanfic contest.
Yeah, so for the Art and Creations contest, we did award ICE for the story that caught. So the art team
Cool.
did all of the awards for this one. And
Enemy
moving
team
forward, you should probably
collected
judge the
from gold
fanfic.
mine.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So we did it for Arden. We'll definitely do it moving forward. Maybe we'll do something for the twins together. That could be super fun. There's a lot more coming for the twins.
Allied hero kill.
And please, if you have fanfic and you like to write, then put it on our forum. We have a whole forum for it.
Definitely. I actually quite enjoy reading fanfic. It's good stuff. Like, there are some really, really good ones out there.
Yeah, and people are helping each other out. It's great.
We gotta get you Mike, DJ.
Move over here.
He's like lounging off in the corner. He can't be bothered to be near the microphone.
Would there be a possibility of adjusting the forums to take advantage of official tournament signups?
Official tournament signups. So that's a really good question. So,
Your minions have been reset.
so what we're doing at PAX, we're having some fun. We're having some winner-take-all show matches. And you see, like, I know Skipper, he's talking about some sort of 2v2 tournament today, I think. There's a lot of 2v2 tournaments popping up because they use that extra player, just sit them in base and use those as spectator cameras. And because of that, pretty much the way we look at it is we're not going to do any official tournaments at all until spectator mode exists.
Yep.
That's kind of like the bottom line, you know, first requirement so that we can have real 3v3 games and still have proper spectation. So that's number one. That's a feature that's being worked on. Very heavy duty feature. And then on top of that, it's still, we think, like, it's not our place to be like, hey, we're an esport now, hooray.
Yeah.
Like Z-Kent has lived this life. He can speak about it better than anyone. But it's really up to the players, it's really up to all of you to tell us that we're ready for that phase of Vainglory. Like, we don't even have like a proper season 1 yet, as far as I'm concerned. There's a lot more we want to do in terms of you know, competitive tracks and all of that. So will there be tournaments in the future? I would love it, and I think that's all of our expectation. Have we done what we need to do on our end for that to happen? We probably haven't yet. We probably haven't done everything yet. So for us, we see that kind of as still something in the future before, you know, you see officially sanctioned tournaments.
So it looks like we're having a really, really rough time this game. It's 4-13. Not too bad. I've come back from worse. So right now, it's really hard for Taka to get into the Miller team because they have so many stuff. Glaive got caught out right there, and he got exploded. Chain stunned by like 3 different people.
Well, you put Shin and Gibbs on that team. What did you expect?
It's okay, we got this. I still believe that.
You got a hard carry with a brand new hero.
I believe
that you're still getting to really know. All right, so Kashka turns back into the fray.
Oh my goodness.
Able to take someone out. So that was a really good choice. Always have to watch for those Kashkas to turn and pounce back into the fray when you think they're running away. You're never really ever safe with a Kashka around.
Definitely.
And now that she's no longer energy starved, just that much more dangerous.
Yep, definitely. So Kashka's actually quite powerful now. She basically freed up an item slot for her by changing her energy requirements.
Yeah, and at high elo, I think that was really, really needed. She was just falling off so hard in the late game in high elo matches. She really needed some help. And when you accompany that with the changes to Shatter Glass, where it's now 3,000 gold, 150 crystal power, up from 115, when you see the changes in Broken Myth, which almost kind of alludes to the way Breaking Point works, but over a much shorter duration, there's some really interesting options for her. I think most people who play Kashka, if you're not Fallow Ferris, go Frostburn Aftershock, right? And then you complement with defense and other things from there. Now there's a whole world of options open to you. You could try Shatterglass Broken Myth and just go really crystal heavy. You could still start out, you could start an Aftershock. You can go Frostburn now that it's not pure energy. There's a lot you can do, so it's a really good time to play some Kashka and see what you think of her right now.
I wish I had a more.
All right, so on the run.
There are people chasing us.
Trying to drop Heliogenesis as you go, just make it a little harder for them to chase and take a little damage as they do. Someone has gotten caught out. not a good scene.
Nope, maybe not.
So 20% reduction in Kashka Ultimate, that kind of wind-up time, so harder to reflex block, through that faster helps as well. So another turret is going to go down here. It is just a slow, nasty push.
This is rough time. This is rough time. I don't know if we're going to be able to defend against this.
Well, there was a nice supernova. You really did some serious damage there.
So right now I'm just going to be using supernova and basically using my turret. Because as long as they don't have minions, it's pretty fast. So I'm actually waiting on my ultimate here. I might be able to snipe out Gibbs.
Ooh, minions.
Maybe? Let's see.
And with the 3 full points in the
lucky?
ultimate, it's
Right
going to
here?
be wide. So again, what you're seeing right here, so we'll watch it travel.
Minion mine.
It's a jungle monster, no such luck.
It was worth a shot.
But what's important there that you got to see is if you tap the ultimate first, if you tap Solar Storm first, and then hold on the minimap, you can pan the minimap, and then touch anywhere on the map, and you will fire your ultimate global style. So there is a way to fire your ultimate while you're looking around the map. You just have to do it in the right order. It's tap Solar Storm first, hold the minimap down, and then tap on the map while you're still holding the minimap, and you will fire the ultimate global style. Really satisfying.
So basically the ultimate will not fire until you tap onto somewhere that isn't the mini map. So you're basically free to do anything else you want until then. So right now it's gonna be time. I'm actually like
Yeah, so we blocked that extra. There's another ultimate from Kashka. So Gibbs is just all over everyone as Kashka in this game. I think we're going to see some Kashka. The Taka goes down.
You're fine.
Oh, I'm fine.
Oh, and a perfect core collapse. hitting 2 people. There's a merciless pursuit. The turret is doing some damage, firing a solar storm into the fray, able to escape. So
I thought I was dead.
that was a very lore-based moment. Catherine with merciless pursuit going right after Celeste, not quite able to catch up before she hits the safety of her platform,
Not today.
and immediately turning and firing a solar storm. That was a good moment right there.
So yeah, it's actually very, very difficult to deal with Kashka sometimes. For mobile. But if I can just lock her down like I can do some pretty heavy damage to her.
Now, I've been seeing some crazy things with Kashka lately. Like, there's a few streams, including Lady Wabisha's stream, where I'm seeing a lot of lane Kashka.
Oh yeah, lane Kashka is fantastic. I love lane Kashka.
Tell me how you think about lane Kashka then, because that just weirds me out.
So the thing about lane Kashka is she's not exactly the strongest laner. However, if she gets a lot of gold early on, she can completely take over a game come like the 6 to 8 minute mark.
So the lane a little more gold rich.
Yeah, basically you're a little bit more gold rich, you'll get pretty consistent levels, and once you hit level 6, it's very easy to pull off a gank with the Kashka in lane, because all you have to do is ult someone and then have your team follow up with stuns or more damage.
Okay.
And at that point in time, like, people will not have a reflex block that early on.
Interesting. All right. So another thing you can try with Kashka, trying Kashka in lane. The other thing that I've been seeing some of is triple boots Kashka, just for like perma mobility. So sacrificing a lot for that speed, but another interesting weird thing that I'm seeing.
I did not reflex block that. That was pretty bad on my end.
Enemies unbeatable.
All right. At least they're taking a little aggro from that minion miner.
That's pretty good. But Glaive, if he has his afterburn up, he's okay. Nice.
Oh, through the wall. So really,
stuff, so-
really good positioning there.
So that ended up as a 1-for-1. I got kind of exploded, but that's okay. So I am going to stay up for a Shatter Glass. Until then, let's see what they have. They have some pretty high health. I'm probably just go double Shatter Glass with them, actually. They only have tier 2.
So it looks like, is that a weapon? Is that a crystal infusion I saw on Gibbs there?
That is a Crystal Infusion. Crystal Infusion is actually one of the most cost-efficient items in the game.
Be careful.
Like, if you're able to buy infusions early on, you should, because they're a very, very good way to extend your lead. And right now they are having a little bit of a difficult time closing the game because we are wave playing fairly well. However, unless we can get Taka and Glaive like a little bit more gold, it'll be kind of tough for us to actually take this game from them.
For the people saying, did we show Vox? You can see some images of Vox if you go check out the Celeste lore from Sugar Venom. There has been some Vox that we've shown, but nothing new today. You're gonna have to stay tuned in the new section in-game as we move forward.
And I'm gonna see like the.
Oh, you gotta run. You gotta get in the car.
Bye.
Okay, it was awesome to see you.
Bye guys.
All right, thanks to Sugar Venom. So that's Sugar Venom.
Thank you.
Look for her in game. She's an awesome player. She plays a lot of pedals. And if you enjoy the lore, it's because of her.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
eating a solar storm.
Oh.
Oh, and it looks like you got taken out by a blast tremor, actually.
Yeah.
Getting ridiculous.
I
Wow.
actually messed up my my reflex block, so I didn't block Kasha's ultimate. So that
The Glaive was able to live, but another turret goes down. It appears inevitable at this point. Shin getting really
we got
bloodthirsty.
this. Don't even worry about this.
DJ, if you want to come on over and hang out so we can hear more viewer questions, that would be awesome.
Chat said, oh god, no, Triple Boots Kashka.
Triple Boost Kashka is pretty epic.
So there will be ice after this game. 3,000 ice to randomly selected viewers. Can you tell us at least if Vox's role is an assassin or a sniper? We cannot tell you Vox's role yet. We cannot tell you Vox's role yet. We gotta save some stuff for future streams, man. But keep watching the streams. We're gonna keep revealing stuff pretty much every stream. And, you know, we're going to be having all sorts of live streams from PAX, daily live streams from PAX, both on this channel and these special show matches, which will be on twitch.tv/Twitch and hosted on our channel. The blade goes down.
Not going so hot for us. I don't know if we're going to be able to...
Down to the Vein Crystal.
yeah.
Finally, Zken's optimism begins to wane
No.
as he melts for a final time.
I'm dead.
Pull up the scoreboard.
Sad times. So we got a couple kills.
All right, so Shin
Solid.
with an 8, 1, and 11 Celeste. Zekent with a 2-7 and 2 Celeste. You might want to check out twitch.tv/Shinkagen for some Celeste tips.
I would actually like to give MVP to this game to Kid. His early game on Koshka was fantastic. He was able to get a ton of gang stuff on me. He was able to just completely chase me down in fights. I was not able to land too many Geogenesis on him because he was just so mobile. And he was basically unkillable. Pretty much the entire team was pretty unkillable on our end, actually. We just did not have enough damage.
Yeah.
Looking at the gold values, Glaive and Taka sitting around 3k and 2k, which is kind of rough because the other team was sitting around 8k and 11k. Like, I was like lower gold than the entire enemy team, so it was rough times.
So we have so many people with us right now, so you can check out twitch.tv/Shinkagen to check him out, twitch.tv/lolgibbs. We have, of course, there's Zekent here. We have Prodigy X in the chat. I saw Rumbly Superset with his videos. I saw Brad with his Shatter the Vein podcast. There's also a new podcast called The Fold that just started up, which is really fun for people to check out. And so I'm going to do some ice. All right, so let's give away some ice.
Alright, so after we give out this ice, we're going to be going over a little bit of the hero balance changes. Like, there's quite a few things in this patch, so, you know, we'd like to talk about just a little bit for you guys. And in the meantime, I will be inviting a whole new set of people into my game, and all you have to do is be on, and I might randomly invite you.
And I see Yuma Rankin is in chat, too. If you like these guys, if you like Yarndin...
You just knocked over all our flags. Wow.
Out.
Arden's just punching things. This is terrible.
Wait, his pack came off.
Hold
on. No, I didn't break it. I didn't break it.
Oh no.
No, I didn't break it.
You broke your
I didn't break it. His glove just came off.
We'll patch him. We'll patch him. Don't worry.
All right, wait. I feel horrible now. I feel so horrible.
Oh my
All right,
God.
we're gonna put Arden down so that I don't do any more damage. But Yuma Rankin made Yarndin and Yarn Petal. And if you haven't seen their live stream, they've been doing Ultimate Bravery on their stream, which is really fun, where you use this randomizer on the Vainglory League website, and it will tell you what items to buy, what abilities you have to level up, and what hero to play. Maybe we'll even try, I don't know, maybe we'll try an Ultimate Bravery game today if you're up to it.
Maybe,
But thank you, Yuma. That's awesome. So the first winner of Ice is MK with a lot of underscores.
Congratulations,
winner
MK underscore.
Of 1,000 ice. I'm going to write these down so that I actually give people ice afterward. The next winner, I can't believe I did that to Arden, but he's okay. I promise you Yarndin is okay, and I apologize. The second winner is, you should announce him.
Yeah?
You need your announcer voice on.
Okay, the next winner of Ice is Esfandiar.
Esfandiar is a winner. Congratulations, you are rich with ice.
Congratulations.
You are rich with ice. The third winner of Ice is
Western Spirit.
I like your announcer voice. It's pretty good. Right? Pretty solid.
It's awesome. I want you to talk some during just like use that announcer voice during the match.
Yeah, right?
It's just
you
solid.
should be our announcer.
Yeah, it's like a little bit like DZ has such a good voice. DZ Live on Twitch, such a good voice for the announcing.
It's got a nice bass voice to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, man.
Say, give us a In a World.
In a world.
Oh, that was good.
That was
in
pretty
a world
solid.
where no one knows your name.
All right, we're getting back to the Bane territory.
Yeah,
Let's not go there again. It got a little weird at the end of the live stream last week.
Was kind of strange. Those were strange times.
All right, so the three winners, congratulations. I'll put them all here. Winner recap so far. There's going to be 3 winners after every match. Winner recap so far, MK, Esfandiar, and Western Spirit. Congratulations. You want to do the hero balance changes?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk some hero balance changes. So first up, we have Koshka. She is no longer energy starved. So just to recap, and then I want to get your take on it. The Pounce energy cost reduced by 50%.
Huge.
Twirl energy cost reduced by 45%. And the Yummy Catnip Frenzy delay reduced by 20%. I am a very happy camper. This is going to really help at high elo. Tell me what you think of these changes.
Yeah, so definitely these energy reductions made her early game so much more diverse. Like previously she had to almost always buy energy back, always, or she just did not have enough to sustain herself in the jungle. She basically jump to a jungle camp, kill it, run out of energy, and be like, well, now I'm out of energy. I'm just gonna walk around hitting things, scratching things.
Yeah, energy battery, like one of your first 3 purchases 100% of the time, or else you were playing her wrong, basically.
Yeah, and now she has so many more options. She can go for more damage early on. She can go a little bit tanky if necessary. Personally, I like getting more damage on her. Like the early aftershock, early tension bow, you can do so much damage in just the first few minutes of the game, and she still runs into that late game. She's still like not the most effective hero come late game, but her early game has become so much more powerful that you have a lot more room to like mess up come late game.
Yeah, she's an early game champ, right? So Scarf, most powerful level 1 in the game, early game champ, potentially falls off a little bit late. Glaive is the opposite, right? Glaive, really weak early game.
Well,
potentially
Glaive is okay early game. He needs once he hits the mid game, he's like super, super solid.
Yeah.
And as a hero, I feel like Glaive can just that afterbird is just too good all game long.
All right,
There's
but clearly the later the game goes, the more dangerous he gets.
Oh, definitely. Like when he becomes so tanky that he can jump into your team, knock someone out, and then just stay on your team for a while. That's when Glaive becomes like a terror.
So understanding who are early game champs, who are late game heroes, it's going to really help you, know should you try that level 1 jungle invade. When you're leaving the platform, pull up the scoreboard. If you're running into a Scarf, play it safe out of the gate. Don't have that 3-man like ARAM style, jungle invade happen in the beginning of the match. It's not in your best interest, right? If you're up against like a Scarf and a Kashka in jungle, you don't want that. You don't want that fight. It's not going to go well for you. But if you have a Kashka, if you have a Scarf, jungle Scarf, and you see some Iron Guard contracts on the other side, then you can, go mess with them all day long, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's really about understanding. So Kashka, early game hero, these, no longer energy starved. It's going to really, really help. So the other big change, Crystal Saw. Saw, Roadie Run will not enter cooldown until the run is finished, and the Mad Cannon Crystal ratio lowered from 1.2 to 0.6. So you play a ton of Saw, you play a Saw on this stream. Your thoughts on Crystal Saw changes?
I definitely feel like these changes were very, very necessary. Crystal Saw was a little bit ridiculous in the previous patch. He was basically able to Roadie Run in, shank someone, get out, and then like 5 seconds later just come back in again, and like you can probably kill someone. Like with an aftershock, with a little bit of crystal damage, with Warhorn and some decent cooldown reduction, you were just constantly in on the enemy team, and he felt like the assassin that Kashka wished he could be last patch.
Yeah.
Which was absolutely crazy because he could also just hit Mad Cannon and shoot someone 3 times when they die, and that was just ridiculous. So the number changes were definitely necessary.
All right, so that's the hero balance changes. Anything else you want to talk about before we jump into another match?
I think we're good. I got another game all set up. Let's see who we have this time.
So if you're wondering what's happening, if you have added ZKNT in North America region, he's just picking people randomly and dumping them into a party. There's just way too many people to do it any other way. But it is completely random, and that's how he's getting these matches.
So speaking of these changes, let's play some Kashka.
All right.
Oh. I'm feeling Kashka today.
All right, let's see what happens. All right, so very interesting. So normally I really actually hate this double assassin team comp because it just, you're super squishy. You often end up without a tank. But all right, so now you're 3 melee.
This is okay.
Are you gonna show us the lane Kashka?
I can try the lane Kashka. I haven't actually tried it myself, but I am totally willing to do it.
All right, so walk the walk, Zkent.
So I am actually going to get a slip shooter first because this will help me a little bit with last hitting. And right now my goal would just be to farm as much as I can. I hit level 6, and because there is a Celeste on the other team, we can actually play this as a pure assassin comp. So we can just destroy Celeste.
Yeah, this might be really, really horrible for Celeste.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be interesting to see. So 2 assassins and the ultimate protector, Arden. Very weird, very interesting team comp. Not for the faint of heart, but let's see how it goes. So for anyone joining us late, Zkent, former Team Curse MOBA Pro, he's doing viewer matches. We're giving away 3,000 ice after every match. We had some big announcements today. Vox is confirmed as the next hero. We are going to have special show matches on the Twitch main stage at PAX East. We're going to be live streaming it. Twitch.tv is going to be live streaming it. We announced Team Prodigy X. You should check out his stream. I will put his Twitch channel name
So
in
this
the
is
chat
actually a
again.
little bit of a tough match for me because Celeste does have range on me. However, as long as I can farm a good amount of gold, I should be just fine.
Well, that's always the problem, right? You're a melee trying to lane. This is why you don't see it. But
Hey,
we'll
I've
see how it goes,
right?
right?
So far. So things are going, oh shoot, there's a glaive here. Oh, there's an Arden here too, I'm running. Oh, they are after me. This is tough times.
Oh, so you're dead. So while you
No,
die...
I'm totally okay, don't worry about it.
So if you're in this situation as a Kashka and you're deep enough that you do have your pounce, because you probably take Twirly Death first, always look to pounce to a monster or a minion to create the gap that you need to escape. It's really, really clutch play. Just run away, run toward a neutral monster, and use the pounce to that monster. And oftentimes that will be enough distance to get you out of there, especially if you pounce, then twirl to get that catnip, and then you'll be able to run away with a little bit of move speed burst too.
Yeah, definitely. So right now what I'm doing is I'm letting the lane push towards me because there's no point in me pushing up to Celeste Tower because I won't be able to harass her under it. So right now I'm just trying to get as much gold as I can. I should be able to last hit a good chunk of these. Maybe miss a few here and there.
And when you twirl, you're going to get a whole bunch of stacks for boosted basic attack. So you see the number in the lower left of the screen there. That was like 6 stacks. Every basic attack, he's getting a boosted basic attack until the number of stacks are down. So it does work in terms of if you play a jungle Kashka, you still want to head up to lane every now and then, just twirl a whole bunch of minions and leave them for the laner to kill, but you'll get all those boosted basic attack stacks. It is really, really nice. So what I was saying, if you joined us late, we're going to have these special show matches for this awesome plaque at PAX. It is Team Prodigy X, and I dropped his Twitch channel in here. He's a really big time streamer, versus Team Miss Vixen, another huge popular streamer. It's going to be really fun. And they're both checking out Vainglory now, which is really awesome to see things grow more and more. So here is Miss Vixen.
Oh no, they're back! They're back for more! I'm running.
I'm gonna drop that in here versus Team Miss Vixen. And they don't always stream Vainglory. You should just check out whatever they're streaming. Super, super fun, entertaining streamers. So that's the first thing. Their teams are going to be filled out with some really high elo players. Shin Kagan and Lal Gibbs, who you saw in the last match. Lady Wabish, who's Pinnacle of Awesome, has her own stream as well. And this guy, George Zekent, is going to be playing in those games too. So really, really fun. On Sunday, Prodigy X can't be there on Sunday. He's flying out. So we have a different matchup on Sunday. On Sunday, Team Molt against Team Nick at Night, and all of the other people, I believe, are going to be the same. So some really fun matches on the big stage at PAX, and we'll be live streaming it, so that'll be really fun to watch.
Most definitely. So if you guys didn't actually catch that, we just kicked some serious butt in that team fight. We actually killed all of them. They were unable to take a single one of us down. So things are looking up for us. Things are looking up. I'm going to go for the early Aftershock because I just want first on Celeste. And if you saw there in lane, I was actually able to pounce onto Celeste over and over, and she can't really trade back too well as long as I dodge her core collapse.
Yeah, if you're playing Celeste, if you see a Kashka or a Taka in the game, it has to change the way you think. You know, in a lane map, this is even weirder, right? In normal, it would be in jungle, and then you just have to really pay attention to your positioning. Make sure you're not, face checking. You're not the first person to enter brush because you're going to melt. That you're properly staying behind people and dropping those heliogenesis stars from a distance. Laning against a Kashka, a whole nother animal. Interesting to watch that play out. Oh, and Rumbly Superset. So if you may have noticed, every Friday, Rumbly Superset puts out a highlights video for a different hero. Some really fun stuff.
Yep,
and he found his way into this match. So maybe he's recording this footage and you'll see it in one of his videos moving forward. Maybe it'll be for Kashka.
Yep, maybe. So right now, I'm actually doing quite well. I'm actually 2-0-2. Things are looking pretty good for us. I'm able to basically explode Celeste at this point, which is really what you want to be doing as the lane Kashka against Celeste. Once you have a little bit of advantage on her, or even just a little bit of just itemization, you can do incredible amounts of damage by pouncing on her over and over.
I don't know how I feel about you playing the lane Kashka and making this more meta. Like, I don't know if I want to see much of this. And
I think you do.
Oh man, this is going to be nasty if we start seeing this.
This is what
in
you
a lot of
always
public matches. All right.
Kashka viability. This is what you want.
Kashka viability, I love. Kashka viability, I want. For sure. DJ, you got anything else here?
Dude, speaking of Kashka, whose ults do you think are far easier to reflex block? Or is Kashka the...
Your team captured one of 2 minion mines.
I would say Kashka. Like, she is quite easy to reflex block as long as you're I can usually do it on an iPad. It's a little bit tougher on an iPhone because my thumbs don't like moving to that bottom left corner, but I just need to get used to it.
Yeah, so for me, obviously Adagio, that long wind-up time.
Oh, yeah.
But the challenge is actually timing it properly. If you do it like in an anticipatory fashion, your reflex block might actually be down before the channel finishes, and that's not going to work out. So you do have to time it right, but the long wind-up on Adagio's is a good one, as well as Scarf, you know. But Scarf, with the way his ultimate is now, he might just melt you anyway. But all right.
Running. I'm okay. I'm going back in.
Of course he's going back in. He's Koshka. So there's classic Koshka for you. You just saw it right there. So fighting, looking like he's leaving, but from medium to low health, looking for an opportunity to go back in to find an unsuspecting victim and get another kill. That's classic Koshka. That's why I love her.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
Big Bite is also noticing that Zekint's health bars are actually quite large, and I think that's because he's playing on the iPhone when compared to the iPad.
Yeah, a little bit different. We're getting a little bit of feedback that the mix of your voice could be higher and the game volume a little bit lower in terms of that mix.
Boom, done.
All right, so for Panda Moma and anyone else, tell us if it's better. Tell us if you like the mix now. Very easy change to make.
Definitely
to
let
make
me
sure
know.
the volume mix is right.
Also, one thing I do like about something on Koshka, I actually don't max my ultimate usually. I usually just max my two other abilities. What are your thoughts on that, Evan?
I'm sorry, I was answering a question here. Say it again.
Do you like overdriving both your abilities, or do you like getting your ultimate?
This is a deep philosophical question on Koshka. So the answer for me is I like overdriving the ultimate. I don't even know why. There's something that I've tried it both ways, and I think what I like is that I tend to be very opportunistic with the ult. I tend to use the ult anytime I possibly can. And because of that, I really like to do as much damage as possible, have it up as much as possible.
Okay.
So I tend to favor the ult, but that's kind of more like a heart answer, whereas the head answer seems to be more pounce and twirly death, because when you look at the effect of those overdrives,
They're just crazy.
yeah, it's really, really good to overdrive both your first and your second ability with Koshka. So try it out yourself, see what you like better. I still go kind of the traditional way, but I don't know if it's smart or just kind of what's ingrained in me and what feels right for me at this point.
Definitely. So, I mean, I personally like going with the overdrives, but, you know, to each their own. I don't know. I like overdrives. It's a really cool concept.
Yeah, it's fun. So if you're not sure what we're talking about, so overdrives, that is when you put that last point, so the 5th point for those first two abilities, the 3rd point for your ultimate, when you put that last point in an ability, well, I mean, the ultimate doesn't really have that per se, but when you put the 5th point in one of your first two abilities, it puts that ability on overdrive and is going to boost the stats or do something like if you Jules Rocket Leap, it dramatically reduces the cooldown. These are all things that are either in the ability's description, or if you pull up that hero's details, like go to the market and click on a hero, tap on a hero, and then tap on each of the abilities, you can see what happens when that ability has 5 points in it. And it's often like a dramatic boost in damage output, or dramatically reduced cooldown, or just something that is special to that hero in that scenario that is really worth. So pay attention to those. And be overdriving deliberately.
Yeah, so you might notice I'm actually picking up a tension bow at this point in time, which I usually would not recommend.
Oh, don't do this to me. Don't do a tension bow, Koshka.
I want to try it.
Oh, you're killing me. How much?
This is not the time for experimentation.
Have I tried?
Always the time for experimentation.
Like how much crap have I given Follow Ferris for this weapon Koshka
This is why
garbage?
I'm doing it.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe Lane Koshka is a little bit of a different animal. I see Prophet Jester in the stream. I gotta say, he's one of my favorite streamers personally.
Oh, definitely.
I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I just can't quit the Prophet Jester. So, welcome to the stream. Check out Prophet Jester's Vainglory stream. And Prophet Jester, get in touch with me because I want to give you an in-game feature at some point, but you're like impossible to reach because you don't like check anything ever. So, yeah.
The
So,
unreachable Prophet Jester.
yeah. Skipper just showed up. We're going to host Skipper after this stream, and he's going to keep giving away ice. So if you don't win ice on our stream, stick around as we host Skipper and watch him. He claims to be the best scarf in North America.
He's a pretty good scarf.
He's a pretty good scarf, but maybe there are some viewers out there who can take exception to that and try to take him down today in some viewer matches on Skipper's stream coming up.
Alrighty, so I have both Tension Bow and Aftershock. I'm pretty sure I can like one-shot this Celeste now, which is really our goal because once we take out Celeste, they really have no way to kill us. They have an Arden, they have a Glaive, who both are dealing a little bit of damage, but really not quite enough to take us down. So as long as we can get Celeste out of the picture, I think we'll be okay.
Stole a minion mine. Your minions are now weaker.
Boom, damages. Oh boy.
And the Celeste starts to melt.
Yep, that was just like a really quick burst. If I get in on her again, I'm pretty sure I can just kill her.
And with Kashka, always you want to get in and get out. You don't want to stick. You don't want to overstay your welcome.
I'll overstay my welcome all I want, Evan.
No, you got it. You went in and you went out and you went back in and you took out the Arden and then you took a route between two turrets.
That was not my smartest decision. I probably should have walked back up to a bush and just, recalled there. But
somebody gave you a frowny face.
You have been killed.
Well, I'll tell them to go here.
How do you feel about that?
I'm telling them to go here. You know what? I'm going to give them a thumbs up.
Because you're just a good person?
I'm going to give them a thumbs up. That's how it is.
All right.
Line Spark from the chat asks, George, are you ever going to make Hero Spotlight videos for all the other heroes? Maybe not even two.
What a prescient question.
Yes. What a question.
I do believe that Z-Kent has been locked in a room for part of this week working on a Saw Spotlight video.
This is true. You can be expecting a Saw Spotlight video fairly soon, I think.
Yeah, so we know that kind of all of the heroes. So for all of the new heroes, we've been pretty good about getting those spotlight videos out. For some of the heroes that have been out for a while, they don't have spotlight videos yet, but that is on George's radar, and he's going to keep burning those down until there's one for each hero. Caution ping, the turret, back to the double. You're really enjoying the double turret situation there. So that is what can happen with Kashka. That's the kind of the dark side of Kashka, is the bloodlust. You always think you're going to be able to get that kill, and you find yourself over pursuing and in a bad way.
That is just the way you're supposed to play Kashka. You have to go super, super ham. The more ham, the better.
The more ham, the better.
I wonder if Kashka likes ham.
Will we Spilled Milk wants to know, will we accept little animated shorts by the fans in the forums using VG characters? Sure, why not?
That'd be pretty cool.
Go crazy. Like, we love to see people making cool creative stuff. Knock yourself out. It was awesome when the stick figure guys did a Kashka
Dojo
versus Saw video. Yeah, the
fantastic.
Hun Dojo, just really, really fun. So yeah, make animated shorts. It's awesome. Please do.
I really want to kill people. Everything.
I made a gingerbread.
I see the Krondor here. He's got a stream where he gives out eggs and crazy stuff.
I do so much. He's out eggs.
He gives out eggs.
He's out eggs. Raw eggs?
Like you bet on eggs and stuff. Hey, Geeky Chick is here. We got everyone here. I see playoff stubble in the chat.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh, that's really good.
What armor shredder do I use for my beard? I use bone saw on my beard. Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna kill a Celeste right now.
The Forg even, we're going to do the item changes. We're going to talk about all the item changes, and there are quite a few. There are quite a few.
I'm in this situation again. I'm just always in this situation. But it's okay.
But this time you killed Celeste. This time the turret is going down.
This time it was worth.
And you're 7-2, so, you can do what you want. You can do what you want.
This is true. In fact, I'm going to take him on, and I'm going to run away. And he missed! So I'm going to run in on him again, and he's dead. Goodbye.
So, Glaive missing Bloodsong, creating an opening for the Kashka, who goes back in and secures the kill. Dangerous, dangerous Kashka.
Cheers.
So how have you felt about this double assassin comp in this game?
I'm actually quite liking it because if one of us doesn't kill Celeste, the other one does. And once Celeste is down, we're all good to go. Because we definitely outdamage our opponents. So I'm actually going to pick up a Clockwork. I want those really, really short cooldowns.
All right. You gotta do the Broken Myth soon.
Or I can go with the Patented Q build and get more boots.
A Broken Myth. I'm
Broken
really,
Myth?
really enjoying Broken
Do
Myth.
I need Broken Myth right now?
You don't necessarily
They
need
don't
it. I just
actually
want to
have
see it
any
today.
shielding, so I don't
I
need
want to
Broken
see it
Myth.
today.
I'm actually gonna go with a Eve of Harvest. That seems pretty solid.
Hi, Lady Wabish.
I generally only build Broken Myth if I see my enemies building a lot of shielding, and right now they're not, so
Enemy team
not really
stole
necessary in my
minion
opinion.
mine.
Dennis
Your
is
minions are now
asking
weaker.
if you guys think that the change to Broken Myth may be a little overpowered.
I haven't gotten to play with it enough quite yet to see. The word I would use right now is relevant. It feels really, really good for Broken Myth to be relevant. And it was like this weird kind of situation before where you couldn't, it wasn't effective for you unless you had already put yourself in a position where you've lost a ton of health. And it didn't feel good for the enemy either because by hurting you, they made the item more effective against them. So it was kind of like unfortunate all the way around. So I find the item super, super relevant now, but I just got to get, yesterday was nuts with putting out the update. I just got to play more to really feel like, to get a sense of how I feel about Broken Myth now.
I think I need some attack speed. This is what I need. An alternating current. This is the right item.
I love alternating current on Koshka.
This
And
is the right item.
in this update, and we'll talk about it more in a little bit, alternating current, much more dangerous late game than before. Much more
definitely.
dangerous late game.
The information on it has been, well, we'll talk about it in a bit.
We'll talk about it.
Enemies
So it looks like they're taking Kraken. This is actually going to be a pretty big problem for us because we don't have anything ranged to kill it with. But I think we do enough damage that it'll be just fine. Hopefully. We will see, we will see.
So we'll see if, is anyone accompanying the Kraken? There is.
There's some left. I think I can kill her.
So when the Kraken pushes, push with the Kraken. Don't go back to base after unleashing the Kraken. He'll do a lot less damage. You'll basically just give the enemy team gold. So here we're seeing the fight around the Kraken, which makes it really difficult.
Oh no.
Zekan has to decide, is he going to try to put damage on the Kraken, or is he going to try to deal with the enemies? That's exactly what you want to do, pushing with the Kraken, making it a really hard decision for the enemy team.
Oh, can we take? Oh, that's so close. Might get one.
So the enemy Arden keeping the Celeste alive, the Kraken just continuing to shoulder down those turrets.
Yeah, we are not able to take this thing out.
So you went from being in a really good place to now this match. This match suddenly has gotten very interesting.
This is where having no range characters
Yeah.
is ooh, nice. Alright, we can finish this Kraken off. They actually got a pretty sizable chunk of gold off of Kraken clearing all our towers.
Another turret
We'll
is...
kill it. Yes. Okay. So that was 2 turrets for 500 gold on kill on Kraken. So we might be able to keep pushing. I think I need a reflex block or something because I am getting completely exploded in these fights.
Redstone Pizza, I don't know why you're seeing Zekan as offline, but this is a live match. The iPhone you see right here, that is a live iPhone, and he's picking people randomly. So these are real games that are happening in real time.
Oh, what?
And the lag spike is real too. That is not on video, or else we wouldn't have used that video footage. Yeah. Yeah, what time is it, Zekent, right now?
It is exactly 3:12.
3:12 Pacific time. It is a live game.
This is a live game. That's interesting. I actually think what happened was it wasn't a lag spike. It was I used my ultimate to jump onto Glaive across the wall, and then he punched me back after my ult ended.
Oh, really?
So that I flew back across the wall.
So
that was really good on his end.
super nasty.
Yep. So right here, I actually what do you think?
More so, I mean, this is all foreign territory. I have never in my life have I laned Koshka, although I will try it now. Anything that puts more red on the board for you, I'm against, because it just makes it harder for me to tell people that that weapon Koshka is not a thing.
All right, I'm thinking Eve of Harvest. I need some of that that ability steal.
Shiny.
And can we do something here? Maybe. I would like to go with this. Oh.
So Taka repositioning.
Oh my goodness.
Zekan goes right into the middle of the fray. Arden drops down the gauntlet, forcing the fight. They have to fight it out. But it's a very contested fight here. Very, very close. Arden goes in. Unable to finish off the Celeste. Did she land a core collapse there?
She did.
Okay.
So that was a really, really good core collapse. Landed on top of both me and Blade.
So
look
a double
at
double
this.
stun.
There's just like dead people everywhere.
A double stun turns the fight. Do you have the pinch to zoom on?
I do not.
You might. So just a reminder, you have to go to settings on your device, and that's where you can toggle things like pinch to zoom. It's super, super fun, but especially in kind of high elo, high skill games, you might not want pinch to zoom. You might not want notifications interrupting your play. All those things you can find in the settings.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes I'm just tapping a little bit too fast and I just pinch to zoom an accident. I'm like, oh no. Now I'm like looking at my character at super close range, but I can't see my enemies anymore.
Playoff stubble, we're in the San Francisco Bay Area. We're in Northern California, not Southern California.
Battle Pro asks an interesting question, one that even maybe I myself want to know. Like, when is a good time to use the infusions?
This is going to be so
honestly, like, past level 10 anytime. Even if you're not at full build, the sheer amount of stats they give you is completely crazy for how much they cost.
So there's a few, obviously, if you already have all your items, it's going to be tricky because you cannot, instantly consume it. Generally, it's like when you know you have to fight and it's going to be a critical fight, it's going to be a game-changing fight. Like maybe late game, they're pushing and you just know if you don't take them down there, you're going to lose the game. That's a time you definitely want an infusion, even if you have to sell something. Like, worst case scenario, sell off your boots and buy an infusion if you really have to. Like if it's that late game critical fight. You can also go. Looked like something proc there that slowed you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Unable to get away. So also with infusions, you can also think about it like you can surprise people earlier in the game. So in the early or kind of mid game, it's kind of like a feast or famine thing. If you buy that infusion, you must get a kill. You must get a kill. If you don't get a kill, it's a big waste of gold. But if you get that kill, then it's probably going to be worth. So pick a moment, try a match where you're like, you know what, this match, I'm playing with all friends. It's private match mode. No elo is at stake. I'm going to get a starting item, and then before I have that kind of first big jungle skirmish, I'm going to buy a crystal infusion. I'm going to buy a weapon infusion and just see how that fight goes and just try to surprise people. Hope they don't look at the scoreboard that early. And you might, find yourself, that you can really catch people off guard with that, and they're going to be like, what the hell just happened? Right? So you can really use it a lot of different ways, and it's super powerful and underutilized.
Yeah, definitely if you're able to take a turret for it, it's 100% worth it. Even because if you're spending 500 gold and you get your team 900 gold, it's like a 400 gold boost, and you're getting map control, so that's actually really, really important to take advantage of. So let's say we have one turret left to take down. Can we do it with a full melee team? This is crazy. I actually really like this team comp just because it's very all in. It's a lot of fun to play, and when we start a fight, we see it through to the end.
So Silent Death says not to toot his own horn, but it sounds like he thinks he might be the best Scarf in NA. I am not saying that Skipper is the best Scarf in NA. Skipper is saying that he is the best Scarf in NA.
This is true.
Skipper is saying it, not me. I'm just passing this along. So if you think that you can take out Skipper, I've seen people in his chat talk a lot of crap, and then Skipper is just like, all right, well, let's 1v1 Skip now and see how it goes. And he just kills people. He just murders people. But if you think that you can take him down, after we finish, Skipper's got ice from Super Evil. He's going to keep giving away ice, so head over to Skipper's channel, try to take out his Scarf. All right, so Kashka again.
This ain't working. My friends are dead. This is sad times.
So now Kashka just wants to stay away, make sure that an ace doesn't happen. Might look for an opportunity to go back in if she sees it, if she can isolate someone. There, so the Arden gets isolated. You see the proc off the Aftershock or the tension bow, but the ultimate was reflex blocked, which is some really good twitchy play there out of the Arden. Now focusing the Celeste, but now caught in the middle of the fray. It's going to be very dangerous for the Kashka again, just trying to escape. So that slow-moving projectile. Oh my goodness.
All right. But I don't know if they can kill Arden. Arden's just running. He's running.
We got a request while you're on cooldown to talk Krull a little bit.
Talk Krull. Yeah. So Krull is in an interesting place right now because with the release of Celeste, it's a little bit tougher for him to engage on people. However, if he lands a good from Hell's Heart, he can still easily knock down Celeste before she can even get unstunned from Hell's Heart. That's a mouthful. But Right now, the thing about Kroll is he's very, very good at fighting someone who's just standing there tanking against him. But if you're kiting him, he actually has a very tough time. So I think he's in a pretty balanced spot where he's very, very strong against melee characters, but quite weak against ranged characters.
And obviously, Kroll, you want to be in 1v1 scenarios. That is where he really shines. We've kind of verbized Kroll. Like, we talk all the time about you got Krolled.
Yeah.
Because you think like, oh, you know, like this Kashka, like she thinks, oh, I got a aftershock and a tension bow that are gonna trigger off of my first hit. I'm gonna just go toe to toe with this Kroll. And the thing, yeah, the thing to know is like, you better burst him down and kill him. Because if you don't, and he gets off that Spectral Smite, his health is going to start going up while your health is going down, and then you will get crawled.
Yep, pretty much. So right now, we're actually in a pretty good spot. Our minions are pushing towards their base, so they're going to have to defend their base. And as long as we don't get caught out randomly, we should be in a pretty good position to just control the map a little bit.
All right, so 2 are there. But Arden has something else in mind. Drops the gauntlet, is able to stun the enemy Arden. Kick off this fight. Kashka.
Dodge.
Oh, was that a pounce to get away from the Solar Storm?
It was.
Oh, that was some really slick play. So the incoming stars of Solar Storm, Kashka pounces to get out of the way. Now is targeting the Celeste.
But Celeste's auto attack is chasing me. Ow.
Oh my goodness, that did some damage. So again, Celeste's basic attacks have a crystal component with a crystal ratio, and you can see what they can do.
So this is not a useful item.
Oh, I just want to hear you say this.
So did
you sell the tension bow?
So one thing about tension bow is it's actually
I know,
only
but
good
you don't
from
have
4
to,
to 8 minutes.
You don't have to tell
hey,
people.
I have to tell people this. I have to see both sides of the argument. I can't just play on your side.
All right, so it's true there is a sweet spot in the match for tension bow, and then again, of course, if you get hit with the tension bow, do not run away. Please do not run away, because once tension bow has done its damage, that's all it can do. You want to go in after someone hits you with tension bow, where you can do all of your damage. But here, follow Ferris if you're watching. Zekent has sold his tension bow for a more effective crystal item, a broken myth, in fact, and that's what I want to see.
And I was able to take Celeste down pretty effectively in that fight. The thing was, I was running circles around her, basically. I made it so that it was very, very difficult for her to land any of her abilities. And once I dodged the collapse, I was unfortunately this fight playing my favorite as much as I go walk out, and that did ultimate save my butt.
And that is the challenge with Celeste. You know, all of her things are basically skill shots in a way. Like, you just have to properly anticipate not where someone is, but where someone is going to be, and drop the core collapse there. And if you land the stun, you're going to be able to follow up probably with 2 heliogenicide. So I don't know, in order to get it to supernova. So it's all about the timing of that core collapse. So after that Kraken, you've been able to turn it back around. Now in a good spot.
Okay, so Celeste is up in a couple seconds. I think you should back out and just come back where there are no turrets left. We can easily backdoor this, or we can just walk into the front and fight.
So Arden had an opportunity to drop Vanguard on Taka and both get away, but instead they are going to get killed. So again, with an Arden, you have to think about it not just for protecting your ally, but also for repositioning. If Arden had Vanguarded to the Taka, not only would he have protected the Taka, but he would have also covered a lot of distance for himself in order for them to get out of there. But maybe Zekent wasn't fast enough on the comm pings. Maybe he should have been indicating a little more, and now you can just use the cry face.
I can use this one instead.
Oh, so positive.
So much positive.
Do you find, I think there's been some statistical evidence done by Riot. Do you find that positivity results in more wins?
I do think so. So the more supportive you are of your team, the better. And right now, because they have a Kraken, I'm just going to go straight for their face and hope I can end the game.
All right, I love it. I love this on Kashka. Use your boots, man.
Yeah, I got to use my boots to run away from people when they come chasing me around.
But it's super fun. So it looks like he's going to try to take the low road, trying to just go straight to base with a Kashka without being seen. One of the most fun mini games in Vainglory. So the enemy Kraken is coming in, but Kashka instead is going for the win. If you were an Arden right now, you could gauntlet through the wall.
They're here. They're ready for me. This is terrible. This was a mistake. Oh god. Oh goodness.
And melted by the solar star. So an ardent gauntlet, meaning he's not going anywhere. Oh goodness! And now the Kraken. Go show us the Kraken.
Team, go kill the Kraken.
So the Kraken is all alone in the base. They've kind of gone all out. So the Taka is going ham. He has decided their only win is going to be the crystal. They have to take the crystal here, or the match is over.
This was probably not our greatest decision ever.
No, it is not going to work. It is not going to work. The Kraken, call her Ursula, call her Olga, call her Helga. She doesn't care what you call her. She is going to end the match.
Ursula,
yeah. Ursula. I'm a fan of Ursula. But Dirt Car, or whatever your name is, he's an Arden. I don't care what he's got. This is not going to happen. And and there it's a solar star. It doesn't do anything, but it was pretty.
It was pretty.
He was probably trying to time it to the explosion.
So that was pretty epic. Not gonna lie, I thought I had him there, but they were just ready for it. Oh my goodness.
All right, so here you got to see Zekent throw a game. But it was fun to watch.
It was worth it.
It was very entertaining.
So definitely,
you might have to go like super try hard next match in order to.
Do I really have to?
Yeah.
And speaking of a player who throws a game, Zeus is asking if you surrender because a player decided to quit. Do you also lose your rank? Do you lose your elo a little bit?
Oh no. So the question. So basically, I'll take both parts of it. What I heard and what you actually asked. So the most important thing for you is that you complete the match. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter if it's victory, defeat, or surrender, finish the match. Because if you don't, not only will you lose karma, but you will also, so this is one of the recent changes, and we were going to talk about it in a bit, but I'll just get into it real quick now, and then we'll do ice giveaways. One of the changes we've made, karma now, when you think about your karma level, like I'm karma level 20, that basically almost directly reflects your glory bonus. So karma level equals glory bonus post-match. Now the karma system will look at your recent behavior. So if you just AFK'd in a match or you just AFK'd in a couple matches, that's what it cares about when deciding whether you're in the good karma queue or the bad karma queue. And if you're in the bad karma queue, your matches are going to take twice as long to kick off, and you're going to just play with other AFKers. So the number one thing, if someone AFKs or is trolling or something like that, it's fine if you want to surrender, like with the actual surrender function, but finish your game, victory, defeat, or surrender, to make sure you don't end up in the bad karma queue. Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing.
Yep.
The second thing is that anytime you have a public queue match that ends in a victory or defeat, in any fashion, surrender being a defeat, there will be an exchange of elo. And that is because if we didn't, that people would game the system, like hardcore, right? Mm-hmm. Like the last thing we want to see is like someone AFKing in order for elo to not be exchanged or some crazy thing like that. But these things even out, and we are paying attention to these things on the back end. So I wouldn't worry about it. Just play it out, and we have a lot more stuff in the future. So if you feel like you deserve to be Pinnacle of Awesome and you're only simply amazing, don't stress it. There's a lot more stuff coming. It's going to be a lot clearer and easier for you. So I should do ice.
You should do ice. And
do we want to do item balance?
Birthday.
Yeah. Surprise birthday if you're listening.
Send Steve.
I will go.
DJ. All right, DJ will go find surprise birthday. If you don't know surprise birthday, head of product, co-founder, and is constantly looking at these items, trying to find kind of the most perfect versions of them that he can. So we're going to bring him in because no one better to talk about the item changes.
So I'm trying to invite Moobot to my game, but it's not working. So I'm going to just hit.
Oh, that was from
I really wanted
that week when Moobot won the thing.
Yeah, that was great.
And then someone made a Moobot account.
I'm just going to invite this person.
All right, so here comes the ice.
I invited Panduma. I think I've seen him before. I think he's been in one of these games before.
Well, I just said his name because he asked a question.
Oh.
That's probably why. So good timing.
I've played with him before, too.
All right, here we go. The first winner, Bacon Bits with a double I, is a winner. A winner of 1,000 ice. Congratulations, Bacon Bits. The next winner is Perternet99
Let me announce the last one.
All right.
It's Peter Net.
I'm going to say it how I want because they're going to take the ice. And the next winner. Are we serious right now? All right, say it out loud. We'll do another one.
Congratulations, Prophet Jester.
Prophet Jester.
Won some ice.
I don't think he needs the ice.
Prophet Jester just won ice.
We gave him Celeste for his live streaming anyway.
Need ice.
Rigged? What is going on here?
So the Tool loves Prophet Jester. I love Prophet Jester's stream. Everyone should watch twitch.tv/Prophet Jester. But he really doesn't need the ice. So we're gonna do an extra winner. You can go to Prophet Jester's stream next time he's streaming Vainglory and not the crazy Super Meat Boy game, which is also very cool.
Game.
It is a pretty cool game. But wait until he's streaming Vainglory and then go thank him for giving away more ice because we're gonna do another winner. And predict. It's kind of predict. Predict is a winner.
Predict, the most unpredictable spelling ever.
All right, congratulations, Predict. You are a winner of 1,000 ice.
Congratulations.
Let's make sure. Can they see Surprise Birthday real good and everything? Because I can get
Scoot
up.
over a bit.
Just the pretty.
Yeah, we'll scoot you out.
Surprise Birthday. He needs to be center stage. He's a big deal. I'm gonna get out of the way for the item balance, and I'm gonna pull
I'm talking
this
about item
up.
Balance.
Yeah.
You are.
So if you need to remind yourself.
I got them memorized.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, there you are. I'm going to get some water. Excuse me while I reach down here.
Cool, item balance. I'm actually going to pull up the chat so that in case people have specific questions, I'll talk about it. So let's just start with the biggest change. Frostburn and Clockwork have their recipes, half of the recipes swapped with each other. So basically Frostburn used to have crystal and energy. Clockwork used to have crystal and cooldown, and I took the crystal and the energy and I swapped it. And it started like this. The first incentive was to change Clockwork. I wanted the item to be good on more than just mages. Sometimes if you are an amazing weapon carry and you have really cool abilities like your glaive, you're building weapon, but your abilities are also just really good and you feel like getting Clockwork is a huge waste of money because you're buying crystal, which you don't need because your entire build is red. You just want to use your abilities more often. You're a tank, you don't care about crystal. You get a little bit of crystal, it's gonna do nothing to your damage output. It doesn't matter. So like it's a waste of money for anyone but a mage. And yet we don't have great ways of solving the I want to cast my spells more often problem. So Clockwork is now a generalized item. Even though it is considered a blue item, it will make sense on a lot more people than just a mage.
Yeah, definitely.
It simultaneously solves your I want to cast more spells problem more frequently, and I want to sustain that for longer. So it just solves the problem of I want to use my abilities more. And it's a single item that has a single purpose, and it works a lot nicer. But I didn't want there to be too much energy regen items in the game, because when you have too many things with energy regen, and after a while, the stat becomes completely wasted. If you have way more energy than you need, you're just wasting your money. So I took it out of Frostburn. And instead, I swapped in Crystal. Frostburn was always a little bit of a weird item because it's actually kind of a gank item to catch and finish someone off. And it makes more sense for that item to have more burst damage than to give you more sustain throughout the course of a team fight. So now it is a kill item. It is a pick someone off, slow them, pile on your whole team, and burst them down kind of item. So it has more crystal than before. Which is a segue into the other big change. I think some people have called the item patch the crystal patch. Yes. And this stems from an observation that in very, very high elo matches, the only way to carry was to be was with weapon and breaking point in particular. Though other non-breaking point weapon builds are also strictly better in many ways than crystal. But abilities are so damn interesting, and I want ability mages, I want ability-based carries to actually stand on equal ground with weapon carries, especially when you're in the lane. You're absorbing all of the gold. When you're in the lane, you're taking gold, you're taking the most precious gold-rich position away from your allies. And if you can't hypercarry, it means that it puts a lot of pressure on the team with a mage in the lane to win the game within 15 minutes. And what that does is it limits the strategic diversity that's available. So this patch is all about letting mages become very, very powerful in late game. And the first thing we need to do to fix that is to make blue items more slot efficient. Not necessarily more cost efficient,
The new Shatter Glass is only slightly more cost efficient, but most importantly, you get a lot more for that 1/6 of your items, that slot. So it's now 150 crystal, way more gold, and it just like it deserves the slot much more. You don't have to supplement it. It also feels much more different than other crystal items in how much crystal it actually gives you. Along with that, other late game changes. So alternating current, it used to deal base damage plus like a lower ratio of your
like
crystal.
20 plus like 65%.
Yeah, 20 plus some percent, 75. Now it's 0 plus 115%, which means if you have no crystal, it's worse. But when you have more crystal or lots of crystal, it's actually much better than before. But you have to have lots of crystal first. So it's already kind of a late game consideration before this item even makes sense. And this is going to allow Crystal Adagio. I know people love to play him weapon. It's going to allow Crystal Adagio. It's going to allow Celeste, and even to some extent Koshka, gain their final bit of power in late game after they've built a lot of crystal. And the second one is Broken Myth. This item has been changed a lot. It's a really weird item, but it needs to serve the same purpose as our armor-piercing items, which is in the late game allow you to pick up damage again against heavily defended opponents. So the reason it doesn't work exactly like a simple pierce item, like we just give you 35% pierce, is because burst damage, if you can use that to instantly burst someone down and turn a team fight into a 3v2, it's not particularly fun. I want extremely high burst damage, which is oftentimes associated with abilities. I want it to be something that builds up throughout the course of the battle that you cannot open with that kind of burst damage. But I do want mages to reliably be able to access that power. So new Broken Myth allows you to reliably charge up your shield pierce. You don't have to be low health. You don't have to be in ridiculous amounts of danger to utilize it, because in the past that's what you had to do. You had to be low health to have piercing, which means that once you have it, you really don't have a lot of time left to actually use it. You
Krull loves this item.
Unless you're Krull, and that's it, because Krull only has one spell that matters for damage. So now you can reliably use it. You can get off a lot of spells as long as a team fight actually lasts long enough. And it's basically, the most important thing is it is much more reliable than before. Also, some of you noticed in the previous stream, there were preliminary numbers for Broken Myth, which allowed it to get up to 45% pierce. When we released the patch, it was only a maximum of 35%. So we have tuned down that number while playtesting in the final week. And the reasoning for that is actually because of all the other crystal item changes. Keep in mind that the way Shield Pierce works is it increases the damage that you deal by a percentage. So if the base amount of crystal damage in the game is already much higher because all the other crystal item changes has just dialed up the total amount of crystal damage that exists in Vainglory, then any percentage increase is going to be more powerful than before, which is why that number got dialed down to compensate for the fact that in general there's going to be a lot more crystal damage. So any percentage increase is going to be very, very good. Not only that, but people are going to build more shield because there's going to be more crystal damage, which makes Broken Myth even better. So that percentage, you might be disappointed by the lower number, but it is to compensate for the fact that there is just way more crystal damage in the entire game.
So question from the chat, will there be a goat item?
He's selling goats.
Yeah,
Secret goat portal.
Secret goat item. Goat portal.
Yeah, it summons goats into the world.
Portal. Yeah, that sounds way better than this other item in my mind.
What did you have?
Huh?
What did you have?
Nothing.
He has had a single goat and walked around.
One goat's not enough.
One goat's not
Yeah.
enough. You need, goats have to stream out of the portal.
Yeah. Any other questions from the chat?
DJ, do you see any more?
Yeah, Mr. Gallant asks, you kind of touched on this a little bit, Q, but which characters do you feel this crystal patch or these changes to crystal affect characters the most? Mages only or all ability-based characters like Krull?
I think it primarily affects mages with very high crystal ratio. So that's going to be Celeste. She's a low base damage, high ratio mage. So for every bit of crystal you buy, you're going to get more out of it. It's going to affect Scarf. So those are the top tier. It affects Celeste and Scarf by a lot. They have Scarf has incredibly high crystal ratio on his ultimate. The next one is actually Jewel. Jewel has surprisingly high crystal ratios. Her ultimate has a 5
now?
It was always 5.
It's always
dude.
5?
It was always 5. So Scarf has a 6.0 ratio on his ultimate, and Jewel has a 5.0. So 500% crystal ratio on Jewel's ultimate.
That's crazy.
Jewel also actually has decent ratios on her jump when you land on people. If you get a direct hit instead of a knockback, if you directly hit them and stun them, that's a 0.9 ratio, so it's pretty good. So that could be a surprising buff to Jewel as well, to Crystal Jewel in particular. Weapon Jewel is unchanged. And then the next tier that are affected less would be the Taka and the Koshkas of the world. They have very low ratios in general, so buying Crystal doesn't benefit them nearly as much. But they are helped by the new Broken Myth. So if you have very high ratio, if you have low ratios, but very, very high base damage coming from your abilities, then what you really want is not more Crystal, what you want is more levels. And for Taka and Koshka, as soon as you hit level 12, you can consider getting a Broken Myth to take advantage of the additional piercing on all of your base damage. And finally, Crystal Saw. Shank Saw.
Oh yeah.
Very high base damage. Decent ratios, but really just tons of percent missing health damage. Percent missing health damage is interesting because there is no crystal ratio on this stuff. There's no way to increase the percentage. So the only way to increase that damage is to increase piercing, and Crystal Saw is all about missing health damage.
Oh,
so
yeah.
getting an Aftershock and then a Broken Myth could be very interesting.
Broken Shard, Piercing Shard, or Broken Myth and a Piercing Shard together is incredibly good on him.
Yeah. Yeah, so those are the item changes. I think there's a smaller change around Serpent Mask. That's more of just like a quality of life change. There was this awkward thing where when you upgrade from Barb Needle to Serpent Mask, you would lose a passive. You would lose the passive where you regen every time you kill something. And sometimes I found myself purposely not upgrading the item to keep that passive, and that's just kind of silly. So Serpent Mask will now retain that. It's also an interesting play you can make if you are Saw, for example, and there's a big messy fight happening in lane. Sometimes you just have no one to shoot because everyone is running away from you. And in that time, you can actually kill a couple minions to heal up as you slowly work your way up to where the fight actually is. In fact, if it's a really, really close fight, sometimes you may not want to shoot your opponent. You might want to kill a random minion that's next to you in lane to get a ton of health back and then continue shooting the guy you want to shoot. So it's an interesting play that can be made, and I hate to lose it the moment you upgrade to Serpent Mask. So that changes, that passive is now retained.
Awesome.
All right, so we also have Kraken here who is going to talk about some more changes in the update. Do we want to do this while we play? Do we want to get into a game?
Sure, that we can drop the things while.
That sounds perfect. So thank you, Surprise Birthday. I hope everyone enjoyed the knowledge. Find him sometime, do some theory crafting with him. It's really fun.
Yeah, check my Twitter if you want to see a bunch of math problems. Yeah.
So it's Evil Surprise, I believe, on Twitter, right?
Yeah, Evil Surprise on Twitter. Just follow that. Tons of strategy and dumb jokes.
I do like the dumb jokes.
So Evil Surprise, Monkey Caravan on Twitter.
Yeah, that's me.
Playoff Beard VG on Twitter. The Zekent on Twitter. We do insider tips. We highlight stuff we think is cool. Definitely follow us on Twitter. We're going to do another game. Then we're going to do more ice. And while we play, Kraken is going to talk about some of the changes that are in the update.
All right, I'm going to scoot over a little bit. Put Kraken right over there in that chair. All right, going to start this game up. We have both me and Playoff Beard playing this game, so hopefully he can help me end this losing streak.
You want an Arden or you want a Koshka? You want to try hard Koshka?
Try
Koshka. All right. We'll try hard then.
Should I go Glaive? I can just kill everyone with Glaive.
All right, let's do it.
I think that's Glaive's favorite pastime.
Killing people?
I thought you were going to put me on the other team.
I'm going to play counter.
This is fine with me.
Or I can play Celeste in the jungle.
This is perfectly fine with me. If you need it, the update.
I have my brain.
Alrighty.
I'm glad you have your brain. Your brain is a good brain. I like your brain. I like your brain very much. So this is Kraken. He's our director of UX. All of the tactical and social ping changes that you see, that is Kraken, along with the new follower notification system. There's a bunch of stuff that is in update 1.2.0. Kraken's going to talk about it and answer any questions you want out of chat. And DJ, keep him firing while Kraken's here, while we got him here.
Alright, we're learning this game. Kraken, you can see it over here on this screen. It's still a bit tiny for you, but I think you'll manage.
Yeah, no worries.
So I'm going to kick it off with kind of the thing I've been enjoying lately, just leaving platform as quickly as humanly possible. I'm not even buying items.
What?
I'm gonna buy items at the jungle shop.
Oh my goodness.
And that helps me just make sure I'm in position for any early invades
Yeah,
or assessing that
The real way to
situation.
do it, you leave the shop, you leave the platform, and buy boots on your way off the platform.
That is the pro move.
That is the pro move.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. I'm so used to having to buy an energy battery that I don't even know what to do with myself. But these days I do go
am
crystal
gonna-
bed first.
You want to invade? Okay, we're going.
Who are we playing against?
I don't know.
Oh, we can do this. Yeah.
So crack. Just a good general bring this up to
the
speed.
Iron Guard
Communication options. Someone don't worry.
They're all in lane.
Was asking, how did you
What
guys
is going
decide which
on?
communication options to provide in game?
Okay, so we went through, I would say, roughly 20 or so different communication options, pings, and phrases that we thought people might want to use. And then we went through roughly a dozen or so prototypes going through those. And in our playtest, when we were going through those different communication options, we wanted to see what people were using, what they weren't using, what they were using the most. And we started narrowing down the options until we got down to a really nice distilled set. And then we started playing with those, and we started polling our players. Like, did they feel like they were limited? Were they able to say what they were trying to say, or at least communicate the gist of what they were trying to communicate? And so that's how we got to where we are. So we ended up with the 5 tactical pings you see there in the upper right of the screen while they're playing. There's the go ping, the green ping, the caution.
The goat's ping.
I want to go ping.
Go Geo, not G-O-A-T. Little known fact, it's not a goat. The second ping there you see is the caution, the yellow triangle. The third one is the on my way, always useful.
I'm keeping them busy.
The fourth one there, the white with the arrows coming in, that's a new one. That's the group up, and that can be used in a lot of cool situations. Let's say it's late game and you find your team starting to spread out a little too much, you might want to throw that down to try to get them to stick together. Another thing is if you think it's time to go take a map objective, throw that group up there if you feel like you need the whole team to dive in and help with the gold mine or taking the Kraken. Question mark is another really good one. It's used for MIAs in the lane, so if your opposing laner ditches and you don't know where they went, you should probably throw out that MIA ping so your junglers know there might be another hero going down to try to kick the butt. Another great use for this is, should I take this objective? So let's say you're jungling or you're roaming around and your laner is focusing on their thing, they're slinging around back and forth. You might want to throw the question mark on the minion mine so that they can tell you when it's time to take that mine. It's not always the right time.
That's a big one. Listen to that one, guys. The laner should determine if he wants the lane pushed. Taking that minion mine will over push the lane a lot of times and leave your laner too exposed. So put the question mark down on that minion mine and ask your laner if you're jungling, hey, you want me to take this? Because it's going to push you harder.
Yep, and if they say yes, there are a couple ways they can respond. They can either throw the green go ping there. They can throw an OK from the social list, which is a good segue to talk about some of the social pings. So while they're not always as tactfully or tactically useful, they're great for kind of just expressing what's going on. I've seen them used. I played a ton last night, and there was a lot of like, hey, welcome, start a matchup. Everybody throws a cheers at each other or something.
You said there was a forums thread.
Yeah, there was a really great story that popped up. The line in the forum thread was, what was it? Let's see, it was something like, kids shouldn't drink or something like, careful with your drinking or something like that. Anyway, the way that the ping story went is it started with someone playing Celeste and they threw out a triple mug cheers, and then it was in the battle log you saw Celeste died to a turret, and then so the one after that was Arden sad.
Wait, is that Captain Nito?
Hi.
That's Captain Nito!
I'm here.
It's Captain Nito!
I just sneak in, roll up time fools.
Just doing Captain Nito things.
Practicing a real life gank.
Answer questions and hang out. So Captain Nito, of course you know by now, our head of creative, co-founder, all of the heroes, all of the mechanics, everything you love about the game. It's this guy right here. So I'm glad he stopped by.
Especially things you don't like.
Yeah. I'm the guy everybody yells at.
Head lead hero designer.
But yeah, another thing I wanted to mention about the pings that I really, really liked was early on our goal with the pings was to try to see if people could make friends with them, to give you a little bit more personality rather than just to give you more tactical options. Tactical options are really good, and we totally respect that should be part of the game, but another really important part of playing in MOBAs is the ability to find people that you like and make buddies with them and then want to friend them after the game and build up your friends list with people that you like to play with. Yeah, that's all I had to say about that.
So what he said is totally true.
Yeah.
Lies! Lies! All lies.
So I'm gonna say random stuff from the chat channel. Nylel, however you pronounce your name, it was great playing with you too. Somebody's asking X1 Mushy. There seems to be a bug when pressing some of the 3 skills abilities at the bottom. It doesn't come out. Actually, that's something that we know and we're looking into. A very known case about those kinds of bugs are when you press them at the same time. And we don't interpret multiple touches at the exact same time from the iPad. So if you're tapping very quickly and you end up tapping twice, one of the things you tap on will not register.
If you end up tapping 2 things at once.
2 things at once, I should say. Thank you. One of those things won't register. And we have game plans for that. As far as other responsiveness, frequently you'll find that the ability buttons won't respond very well if the game gets really frenetic, very high energy, and you drop frames because we don't end up catching taps in between frames, which we will down the road, and then that will be a non-issue. So we think that we have that one well in hand, and you should see some fixes for that coming soon.
Gosh,
that was great.
Ding.
Like you ulted them, and then you just Hellfire Food just
Dark Moon
explode everyone.
By the way, I've seen you saying this a couple times in the chat, and yes, we can absolutely give you guys an unlimited gold option when you're in practice modes. In case nobody has mentioned that before, I was going to.
I'm gonna give that a cheers. 3 cheers for unlimited gold in practice mode.
Yes.
I'll give 2 cheers.
So well said.
So one of the other options we've talked about doing for the practice mode item is having one to award XP to, because really what it's about is trying to set your hero up in a situation so that
try
you can
out
see
different
if it does
builds.
Yeah. We'll give both of those. Keldegard, you mentioned something. And
oh, not Keldegard. We love you, Keldegard.
Go back to what you were asking. Petal Minions cannot be stunned with torque collapse. If they cannot, that's a bug. We'll take a look at that. Thanks for raising it to our attention. Celeste reveals herself when she drops stars even outside vision. We'll test that. I did not know that. Link Shane 213. When the enemy team used the Kraken, it stopped and it failed. Fix that because it's unfair. I agree with your sentence. We should totally fix that. This is the first we've heard about it. I can pass this along to our QA team and we can see if we can figure that out for you. Spilled Milk asks, earlier today I was in a match and out of nowhere the game froze up and got kicked all 6 players out of the match. What happened? In those cases, which hopefully are very rare and don't affect many of you, but if it does happen, that means that our server crashed. And a server crash will happily keep you in the game by punching you back to the main menu, but it will
Don't you have Iron Guard?
Your game will
I'm not hitting it first because you have Iron Guard. For everyone out there, let the Iron Guarder hit the monster first, and then you hit the monster last, and then everyone gets gold and everyone's happy. But Zcat was just messing with me. I was so confused.
So
that's gonna get a cry. Just